A few years ago, I put out a tutorial on remastering a Linkin Park song called Guilty All the Same. And in that tutorial, I detailed the exact process that I used to unclip a mix, or should I say a master, and then redo it to what I consider to be a better quality. And most recently, I made a mix analysis slash arrangement analysis of Linkin Park's One Step Closer. And during that research to figure out what exactly was done during the recording, to the best of my ability, I came across these. I believe it was called the May 2000 Studio Finals CD. I don't know how this CD winded up in the hands of a Linkin Park fan in the year 2012, but eventually the CD quality unmastered, and that's key, unmastered songs ended up on the internet. So I took it upon myself to download these. Now, I came across them originally on YouTube, and then I found out that there were actually lossless audio files. So it's basically as if I had the actual CD and I had the the unmastered versions. And being a Linkin Park fan, I knew that, Hybrid Theory just didn't have that great sound. I mean, don't get me wrong, it sounds good, the mixes are good, but there was always something wrong with it. When the choruses kicked in, the snare drum got sucked under, it just sounded muddy to me, even back then, but especially now that I have the better ears for that type of thing. So I was going through these unmastered versions, and they don't, most of them were not brick wall limited. You could tell that just by the waveforms, and they weren't polished sounding, but I knew that I could do something with those. So I started experimenting over the last 2 weeks or whatever, last month, and I'm like, you know what? Just for my own personal needs or personal wants, I'm going to remaster this, and I'm gonna keep it for myself, and I'm gonna give it to one of my friends who is a big Linkin Park fan as well. But I've decided, I'm like, wait a minute, next year's the 20th anniversary of this album's release, so it's possible that Linkin Park or Warner Brothers was going to be releasing a 20th anniversary edition that would probably be remastered, and I would like to throw my hat into the game. Even though I'm a nobody, this is literally my setup right here, okay? I got some Klipsch speakers. I actually have a broken subwoofer right now. I never got it replaced. I really need to do that now that Klipsch have started making them again. I could actually just replace them all for I think $120. Anyway, these speakers, they're not the greatest. They're not reference quality, but you know what? I've made a lot of mixes on them. I've made masters on them. I know what these speakers are supposed to sound like. Subwoofer does need to get fixed. Anyway, my point is, I have a very humble setup. It's no LA studio. It's no New York City studio. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. But you know what? I have a passion for audio, and I want you guys to check out the difference between the official. This is the best quality version I could find. The official 48 kilohertz. Now, it had to be downsampled for YouTube, but 48 kilohertz, if you buy it, of Paper Cut, the first album, the first song from the album, Hybrid Theory. I've basically put it up to past the first chorus on each version, and the best way to compare these two is to just go back and forth, click back and forth, or if you have a phone or tablet, touch back and forth between my version and the official version. What you're going to hear is clearer audio. You're going to hear better transients, so the snare drum's going to poke through even during the chorus. The kick drum's going to hit you in the chest a little bit. Now, because I have a broken subwoofer, the bass levels might not be exactly where they need to be. They might be lower, but in my opinion, that's my taste. Bottom line is, if you guys were planning on putting out a new album next year, a re-release of Hybrid Theory next year, please consider me for that gig. Even though I'm not at Sterling Sound or whatever the case may be. I love what you guys have been doing all these years. It would be a dream to work with you all and to release, to give Hybrid Theory a proper release would make me feel awesome. And here's the thing. I actually, for my own personal wants, like I said earlier, I've released 2 versions. One that I'll call the audiophile version, which is perfect for if you're listening in quiet environments at home or with headphones on, whatever the case may be. Speaking of which, if you're going to listen to this video that I'm linking to at the end of this, make sure you're listening to them on high quality speakers or high quality headphones, because the differences are there. They might not translate on little rinky-dink speakers. Anyway, the transients are going to come through better. It's just better clarity. It'll sound wider because the mix is no longer muddy. Now here's the thing, because once again I was not using the final mixes. I was using the May 2000 mixes. Mike Shinoda's vocals actually sound different from the official release, so keep that in mind. But yes, I've already remastered all 12 songs, and I'm ready for Linkin Park. If they were going to be re-releasing the album next year, definitely please consider me for that gig. We could either do it here in the humble Studio A, or I'll take these speakers with me and we'll go to a bigger studio or something. I don't know. Whatever the case is, I think I could do a fine job right here, no problem. But that's really a far-fetched dream. I doubt this will even happen. But I'm just here to say, I've already made it for my own personal collection. To me, a proper release of Hybrid Theory, and I'd like to share that with the world. So what I'm going to be doing is, just like they did with that May 2000 demo CD, I'm going to be sending my demo CD, 6 tracks from that collection, to different people that I think might be able to make this happen. Again, I'm a nobody in the industry, but I have good ears. I know what the hell I'm doing, and I would just love to work with Linkin Park to make that happen and put a proper release. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say that the second version of the album is one that does have it's quote louder. It has more peak limiting, so it's not that audio quality audiophile version, but it's perfect for listening in the gym, listening in an airplane, listening while you're in the back seat of a car. So it's made for louder environments, and I'm sure that the low mids will come up a little bit more when you hear that version. But the version you're going to hear in this comparison video, I have reduced the volume with very high quality gain plugins, so that I level matched using Ulean Loudness Meter Pro. I've matched the official version to my version. That's the fairest thing to do, to volume match them, and you can hear the differences between the two. And I, just like I did with the rest of the process, I was very careful about everything I did, from the sample rate conversion to the gain boost and gain reduction, gain attenuation. So even though I'm working out of a very humble studio, I'm very careful about just making sure that quality is not reduced past the point that it needs to be reduced. And so these remasters are as pristine as I could possibly get them with the tools that I have available to me. I maximized my resources in general to make this a proper release, and I would love to share it with the world. And I don't know if I said it in the video before, but I'll say it again just in case. I actually am going to put up the entire Paper Cut song in a separate video, because I already had the comparison video up. So paper cut in a self-contained video, or you know what? Maybe I'm just going to re-release the comparison. So you'll have the first 30 seconds, or the first Actually, it's the first minute of the original paper cut, the official release. And then, by the way, and if you don't believe me, go on Spotify, go on all the different streaming services, go right on here on YouTube, and watch these videos yourself with paper cut. I did not modify that master at all. It's actually the best copy that I could find for that video. So it'll be the first, everything up to a little bit after the first course, and then after that it'll be the entire Atom Real Home Recording remaster of paper cut afterwards. Just because I think that's the most fair thing to do, so that you guys don't think that I'm like pulling something out of thin air and all I got is like, you know, a minute long copy of it. No, I have all 12 songs have been remastered for my personal collection. And it'd be cool to like I said, work with Linkin Park and put that out to the fans if they were already going to be doing a 20th anniversary edition. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoy the new version of Paper Cut. Please don't sue me. I did this for fun. I'm not releasing this all to the public. Hopefully my friend doesn't rip the CD and put it up on the internet. It's possible that they will, but I'm telling them not to. And but I'm going to have, again, like I said, the audiophile version, and then the version that you can listen to and enjoy at the gym or in other noisy environments. So we'll call that the not so hyper compressed version, or brick wall limited version, and the audiophile version will have very little to no gain reduction on the peaks, which is how sound should be. But you know, just the loudness wars don't allow for that. But in the year 2019, we have some awesome brick wall limiter plugins that are available, so that's not as much of an issue as it once was. But I still prefer to respect physics and not compress the ever-living life out of my mixes when I do masters. And I did the exact same for Linkin Park, because Hybrid Theory deserves a proper release, and I would love to give the fans of Linkin Park and the band themselves that proper release with the skills and the resources that I have available to me. So thanks for watching this video, everybody. If you liked the video, if you liked the new version of Paper Cut, be sure to hit the thumbs up button on this video and the thumbs up on that version, on that video. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching again.